Well, hey YouTube, how's it going? It's Petey, and yeah, I've been writing music, writing songs. I talked about this the other day. I've been using synthesizer accompaniment. I like. There's two soft synths that I've been using on these particular mixes. Like I like. There's something called organizer. That's a like a I was about to say Lowry, a B3. Like it has a lot of Hammondy, like Deep Purple, John Lord, that type of stuff. I like that. I like Mellotron VST. Um, there's a few different free Mellotron VSTs that are good. And then Zebra too. There's a company called Yuhi. At least that's how I pronounce it. It's a U, a hyphen, and then a H E. He. Like a capital U and then a little he. I call it Yuhi. I'm sure I'm wrong on that. So Yuhi makes something called Zebra. Zebra soft synth, and there's a sequel to it, Zebra 2, which they look really the same. There's more patches for the Zebra 2, and boy, that has a lot of the stuff that's up my alley. There's a lot of patches that move or arpeggios, sequenced patches. So yeah, whenever you hear on these new songs, you'll hear sounds that kind of move. They're like it'll be like a scale playing quickly. I'm not playing that. No one ever does. They use these arpeggio patches where you just hold down an A and it'll it just plays the sequence, making it it's kind of cheating. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been using Wallow drone, company called Wallow. I think they're hey mate down under. Uh, that's a kiwi. I'll cut your throat, mate. Here's a knife. Those guys have this Wallow, Wollo, and there's a few different Wallow. Hey mate, we've got all sorts. I reckon you got a VST, a lot of them. There's one that I like to use from Wallow, and that's the Wallow Space. Wallow Drone, maybe? It's dark blue, and the third patch goes ding, 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 and I love, I love that. Put it on everything. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's the tools I've been using to do it. There's 15 new songs, although I think four of them were on this album. Uh, so it's not that many new songs, but I have been writing, and like typically nothing that I write, which it's can I even call it that? It's so basic, the stuff that I put together, and it's so similar. Like I can't even. Is this songwriting? I mean, it's embarrassing. It's just the minimal to get by, and there's so much of repetition. So yeah, I'm admitting that, guys. Uh, Nothing gets thrown out. Like everything I think of gets run through the paces quickly, and it's just here's this one part, then there's another part that you've heard a million times, and then it goes back to the first thing that might be a little different. So, uh, the last thing that I did kind of was like, I don't know if I want to say like classic rockish or like Tom Petty kind of like it kind of just it didn't lean towards like, oh, when I hear that piece of music I think of Petey Two Finger, because that's in the style that he plays. This was not in that style, and it sounded good on the when I was just kind of playing the guitar along with the sequence. It didn't sound bad. And then when I played it with the bass, it sounded bad. And it's no offense to the bass player. I think when the bass player improves a little bit on this, it will sound a little better. But it's just that it's not like I was thinking about this today. Like I don't ever say anything is a bad idea and get rid of it. Like everything gets turned in. Like this is a song. And so there's a lot of repetition and garbage because I'm not really soloing so much, but playing in that style that I play, where I play a lot of one finger, one line, but it's just kind of playing melody. It's not really soloing, you know. So it is what it is, and I want to let you guys know that I'm aware of that. This Tom Petty kind of sounding thing, it's just such an unbelievable embarrassment to me playing it, and it just brought me down feeling even lower about doing this. And then today I came up with the piece that was kind of uninspired. It just maybe was a little different. I thought, oh, this sounds good. So I put together a sequence for it, and then Donna Gomti and I were playing it. And man, it sounded great. So it just goes to show, like if I would have said, oh, all I'm writing is, now I'm down to writing a Tom Petty wannabe, like real basic classic rock thing that's so embarrassing. It's been done a million times. I'm sure there's other bands that have written this same thing that I'm doing as their original, because it's so, E, D, A, G, E. Like the simplest classic rock thing. But if I were to give up and say, you know what, I'm done writing for now. I've gotten so embarrassing and bad at the bottom of the barrel that I'm playing around with this Tom Petty stuff. And hey, you know what? I saw him live, and they were unbelievable. Their band was so good. I wish I could write a song in the league of Tom Petty, like a real one. I wish I could. They were unbelievable, and that guitarist of his, he's the guy, he wrote that that Don Henley song, Boys of Summer, which is like, if I wrote that song, I'd never write another song again. I'd be like, I'm done. That's as good as it gets. But anyway, the moral of the story is today I wrote something that my wife said immediately when we were done learning it. She said, I like this song. And when that happens, I feel really good. And I knew she wasn't kidding, because it's a good song. So if you're out there and you're discouraged at your art or whatever you're doing, just remember, you can never guess this stuff. Life is crazy. You don't know what's coming at you. And when you think about, if you let this stuff play with you, I've found most of the time I've seen other people like tripping out, like really getting worried about something being bad. And then when it comes down to it, it's not that bad. And I've seen other days when they think, oh, I'm going to go and make my money. And then it's horrible. It's really bad. I'm talking about working at a job when you're working outdoors and you really don't know. You're looking at a map on your way up there and you don't really know what you're going to see when you get there. Is it going to be like super high telephone poles that you have to crawl, put your ladder up and go work, or are they short and real? Are they way at the end of some huge yards where everyone's got barking dogs, big huge black labs, and you got to go into every yard, and here they come, woof woof, coming at you? Or is it going to be in an alley where the telephone poles are right up on you, and you just drive down the alley, and your work's right there, you know. So when I was doing that work, splicing cable, that was the lesson. I got to a point where I very quickly determined that I was never going to look at the map and shit, worry about it. Where I saw other people, oh, it ruined his day. He could not stop talking about it and having to have everyone around him like miserable because he was freaking out. And then it would be 1 o'clock and he would be done walking around laughing about how much money he made. And I'm like, you ruined my fucking morning. Jonesing out about because you thought this was going to be really bad again. And it wasn't. It was super easy. So that taught me that lesson about you never know what's coming down the pike. You really don't. And with that, I'll leave you guys. I'm really excited about, and whenever I have a decent amount of new music, I always get I feel better about myself in the situation, and I say, I can't wait to bring it to you. But it really is true. It really is. We're going to be practicing this stuff, so hopefully we can get decent versions of it. And if not, I'll film it at home with the air conditioning on, going line in, so at least you can hear it. Anyway, hope to talk to you guys soon. I kind of healed up. I'm going to be going again for the dental work, and I'll probably be miserable. So keep me in your thoughts. Hug your pets, stay warm, and peace.